You know, we talk all about the BBC, Bonucci, Barzagli, and Chiellini. We know how great they are, along with Buffon. We understand that's a brick wall. That is as solid as you can get anywhere in the world, if not the best in the world right now, probably is.
Agreed.
But we don't talk enough about guys like Florenzi, who's done his job and more, quietly, Parolo. We talked a bit earlier with David Amoyal about Di Scelio, who I loved his play.
Oh,
These
man.
guys
That's
deserve
right.
some spotlight, Marco.
Listen, you said it greatly, and I think that the midfield was one of the keys to stopping Spain in this match. That clogged of five-man midfield. And like you said, Florenzi and De Sciglio, they have arguably the toughest job in the squad. Those wing-back positions, if you're not 100% concentrated and fit enough to be running up and down the whole entire match, 90 minutes plus, you're out. The 3-5-2 doesn't work without those players. So Florenzi, and I think De Sciglio, who stepped in today for Candreva, fantastic. Great job from both of them. And Parolo, like you said, and Giacchini, everyone did great.
And not only did everyone do great, but it was everyone on the same page, Marco. When they attacked with a full team that I've never seen an Italian squad do before. When they defended, they've defended like they've always done since they were little boys. It's ingrained in their blood to defend alla Catenaccio. But to me today, again, what was so enjoyable to watch was that they had each other's backs, that if there was a mistake made by one player or another, it didn't matter. If you remember, Marco, just before the halftime, it was a poor ball played back, I believe, by De Rossi, and the communication was not good there between some of them, and Buffon patted him on the head. He said, don't worry about it, forget it. You didn't see that from Italy squads in the past, especially in Brazil, where they would get on each other.
Hey, listen, Anthony, you're spot on with what you're saying. Family is another huge aspect of this Italian team. And like you said, with Barzagli spoke, and he said that this team is probably the most united team that there's ever been since 2000. He said it reminds him of the 2006 World Cup team that won. And everyone has their back. If one person's slowing down, there's another guy saying, come on, you got this. And that's what really makes this Italy tick. And that's what Antonio Conte brings to a team. He's the one who's ingrained this mentality. Like you said, they used to play catenaccio. No. Listen, he was attacking. They scored 2 goals against Belgium and 2 goals against Spain, and they should have been up more. I mean, you saw the match. They could have had 4 goals, 4 goals easy.
Well, if it wasn't for David De Gea, it easily could have been 3-4-0. A couple posts mixed in and some unbelievable world-class saves.
Bicycle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, my gosh.
The masterpiece, the work of art that Conte did, and look, I'm going to give him credit where credit is due. Look, I'm still not happy that Giovinco's not on the squad. That's a story for another day, but he has won me over. But the job that he did on Iniesta, to me, Iniesta will go down in history as one of the greatest players ever. Everyone talks about Messi. Everyone talks about Ronaldo. To me, Iniesta is going to go down as one of the greatest players ever. Today, he was invisible.
Hey, listen, I don't know if you heard Marco Parolo, what he said before the game yesterday. He said, Iniesta is my idol, one of the best midfielders that's ever lived. He says, but the way that we have to stop him is by working as a team and as a unit to stop him. And that's exactly what they did. And I love that credit where credit's due for Conte, because he's taken a lot. Conte's gotten a lot of criticism, and he didn't let it affect his team. He's actually used that criticism, and I'm sure he was showing everybody, the newspapers were talking bad about his selection. Everyone's talking bad about his selection. He used that to motivate his players and to get the best out of his players. And even if he didn't call up, no one's ever going to agree about his selection. Listen, he's getting the results on the field, I spoke to Giuseppe Rossi. I interviewed Giuseppe Rossi recently, and that's exactly what Rossi told me. He said, listen, the selections are something separate. Getting the results on the field prove that his selections were the correct thing.
But there's something in the DNA of an Italian player that we'll never see in an English player in my lifetime, and that's they will leave blood for that shirt. They will go through a brick wall. They will die for that shirt. They will put everything aside and be united for that shirt. They will give you 90 minutes plus, which England never did today at all. That is a special ingredient, a dangerous ingredient that many nations will not be able to stop.
You just said the last lines of the Italian national anthem. Siamo pronti alla morte. We're ready to die for this shirt. And Conte is ready to die. Did you see his celebration after the game? This guy, he's bled celebrating. He tried to jump over the bench celebrating. He's transmitted. This team is a representation of who Conte is. And I love the way that you said that, because this team is ready to die for each other, and they all have each other's backs. And it's something that I really love seeing.
Marco, lastly, before we let you go, a couple other guys that have really stepped up to the plate and kept my mouth shut and many people's mouth shut. One is Eder. I mean, what a tournament he has had. Unbelievable. I got to give him credit, because I didn't think he was in the shape or ready to play in a tournament like this with the season he had, but I was wrong there again. Eder is one. And Pele, I got to tell you, the guy has done everything and more that you have asked of him, and these two guys have been on fire.
I absolutely love it, because, I agree with you. Eder did not have a good season with Inter. He wasn't doing well. But Conte, again, he believed in him. He saw that talent. And Eder, he might have missed a few goals today, but getting those opportunities is what was important. And opening those spaces, Pele does a lot of work opening those spaces, even if he's not, always scoring. And then he gets his goal eventually. Opening that space, the pass that he gave to Eder for the opportunity. This team, it's something special, something very special.
Before I let you go, Marco, I got to tell you what left a real enjoyable part of that game watching today, and all the emotions and everything involved was one simple thing I think you and I can both agree upon. Wonderful supporters of Spain and Italy, no problems in the stands before the game, after the game, during the game. Wonderful embrace by Morata and Buffon after the game. Many players showing respect to one another. This is why we love the game so much.
This is football. This is why, this fighting, this bullshit fighting, that's not what football's about, Football's about uniting people together and loving each other and loving the game together. And like you said, with Morata, applauding Buffon. And Buffon, if you saw against Ireland, his team lost. He was on the bench. His team lost. He was the first one to go over to O'Neill, Ireland's coach, and congratulate them, celebrating that. And that's what we need to promote. And, yeah, it's great stuff.
Absolutely. Marco, before we let you go, where can people watch Italian Football TV, and what do you got up there now?
Listen, we're running Italian Football TV. It's a YouTube channel for English-speaking calcio fans. Every day we've got multiple videos, 3 to 5 videos a day, just bringing you everything that's happening within Italian football.